Hey guys, today we're looking at our Unit 2 vocabulary. We're starting our political processes and public policy unit. So first of all, your first word is candidate. Okay? Candidate is a person who seeks an office. Right now, the two political candidates that you know about are Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. In this picture, you see the candidates for the Republican nomination. And of course, the one man who won, Donald Trump, is the one standing in the middle. Your next word is electorate. The electorate is the group of people able to vote in an election. So, for example, if your parents vote, they are part of the electorate. Your next word is campaign. The campaign is very important to us because that is the process we're talking about. It is the competition by rival political candidates and organizations for public office. Currently, Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton are running campaigns. Your next word is bias. Bias is an attitude that always favors one way of feeling or acting over another. In the example picture, you see a person wearing a Boston Red Sox shirt, and the judge is telling him your verdict must be based on the evidence, not the fact that the defendant is wearing a Yankees tie. He's assuming that the juror will be biased against the defendant because he believes in a different team. Bias itself, generally, when we're talking about it, we're going to talk about biases that favor either the Republicans or the Democrats. All right? And you can see the synonyms will give you a little bit more of an understanding of what this word means. Your next word is electoral college. The electoral college is something we will talk about a lot more later on, so don't worry about writing all this information. You do not have to write the extra information. Only write the definition. The definition of electoral college is a body of electors that elects the President and Vice President of the United States. Like I said, we will have an in-depth lesson about the Electoral College later in this unit. I just want you to have the definition at the moment. Your next word is election. You should be very familiar with the word election. It is the selection of a person for public office by vote. This year, our elections will be held on November 8th. That's when we pick people to be in the government, particularly the president, since President Obama has already served his 2 terms. Your next word is propaganda. Propaganda is an organized spreading of certain ideas to affect people's emotions and behavior. You see examples of propaganda from World War II in the slide next to the definition, but these days propaganda is everywhere. Even an advertisement for something you might like, such as a McDonald's advertisement, is propaganda because they're trying to affect your behavior and get you to buy McDonald's products. So, propaganda is very, very prevalent around you, and it's important to know what propaganda is. Your next word is political party. A political party is not an actual party in the sense that people are gathering and celebrating. A political party is an organization of people which tries to accomplish goals common to its members by gaining and exercising political power. You know the Democrats and the Republicans are the main 2 political parties in our political system, but there are also other parties, some of which you see in the picture next to the definition. There's the Green Party, the Constitution Party, the Libertarian Party, etc. Our next word is public policy. If you want, you don't have to write the first definition, the basic policy on which laws rest, because for us in our class, we're going to be using this term as a synonym for the word law. Any law is a public policy. It's a policy written to help or influence the public. Your next word is mass media. Mass media is any of the means of communication, such as television or newspapers, that reach a very large number of people. In the last unit, we talked about the press. The press was based on the old way of gaining news was basically the newspapers, and they had to use a printing press to write their information. Now that there's more media involved, the mass media is any way that people get their news. The internet, television, the radio, magazines, newspapers. It's news organizations. Okay? Your next word is campaign finance. Campaign finance refers to all of the money raised to help candidates, political parties, or policies in elections. In other words, it's financing the campaigns. Remember, finance means money, and the campaign is when people are running for office. So campaign finance is the money used to pay for a campaign. Your next word is winner-take-all. And in a winner-take-all system, there is a result where the winner receives all the prizes or rewards. In our electoral college system, we call that a winner-take-all system because states vote individually for which person they would like to elect as president, and then the winner in the state gets all of the state's electoral college votes. Again, we will explain that more later on, but just know that it's important to know that the American Electoral College is a winner-take-all system. Whoever wins a state wins all of the prize from that state, not just the portion that they won. Your next word is nominate. To nominate is to propose someone for an appointment or election to an office. The political parties each nominate a candidate. So the nominated candidate for the Democrats is Hillary Clinton. The nominated candidate for the Republicans is Donald Trump. They were nominated or proposed by the parties that they are running for. Your next word is primary election. Remember last year when it was before this current election season, they held a primary election. That's where the Democrats were running against the Democrats and the Republicans were running against the Republicans. A primary election is an election that narrows the field of candidates before an election for office. So the primary elections happened, and Donald Trump won the Republican primary election, and Hillary Clinton won the Democratic primary election. Those were when they were running against members of their own party. Your next word is office holder. We will use office holder a lot in class, and all that word means is a person filling a government position. President Obama is a current office holder. He holds the position of president, so he's holding that office. Your next word is two-party system. A two-party system is a system where two major political parties rule politics within a government. In our government, you sometimes see other parties than the Democrats and the Republicans, but if we were to talk about which two parties held major control, it would be the Democrats and Republicans. That's why the American political system is a two-party system. There are third parties, but they don't have as much political power as the Democrats and Republicans. Your next word is third party. And a third party is any and all political parties in the United States other than one of the two major political parties. Remember, the Democrats and the Republicans are the reason we are called a two-party system, but there are still third parties that you can vote for, such as the Independent Party, the Constitution Party, the Libertarian Party, and the Green Party. Your next word is editorial. An editorial is a newspaper article, but it's a newspaper article that presents an opinion. An editorial is an article in a newspaper or other magazine or on a website presenting the opinion of the publisher, writer, or editor. In other words, editorials show opinions. They don't necessarily share facts. So you want to make sure that when you're reading an editorial, you know that it is a person's opinion and not necessarily the facts about the issue. Next, we will be looking at some functions and similarities and differences between political parties. I will see you then. Thank you for paying attention.